In the heart of a magical forest, there lived a lion named Ember. Ember was not an ordinary lion, but he did not have any special abilities. However, he was respected for his strength and courage. He was known as the protector of the forest, and all the creatures who lived there looked up to him. One day, a group of soldiers entered the forest. They were on a mission to capture Ember and take him to their kingdom, where he would be forced to fight in the king's army. They knew that Ember's strength and bravery would make him an invaluable weapon in their battles against rival kingdoms. They were determined to capture Ember, and they would stop at nothing to achieve their goal. Ember knew that he had to protect his home and his fellow animals. He decided to face the soldiers head-on, but he quickly realized that he was no match for them. He needed something more, something that would give him an edge in the battle. Ember decided to seek the help of the magical creatures in the forest. He searched the forest until he came across a wise old owl. The owl told Ember that he needed to find the magical crystal that would give him the power to breathe fire. The crystal was hidden deep in the heart of the forest and was guarded by a powerful enchantress. Ember knew that he had to be brave and strong to face the enchantress and claim the crystal. He set out on a perilous journey, battling fierce beasts and braving treacherous terrain, but he never wavered in his determination to save the forest. After many days of travel, Ember finally arrived at the cave where the enchantress guarded the crystal. Ember knew that he had to be careful. He approached the enchantress and asked for the crystal, explaining his mission to protect the forest. The enchantress was impressed by Ember's bravery and decided to allow him to take the crystal. But beware, she warned, the crystal has the power to make your dreams come true, but it can also be your undoing. Ember took the crystal in his paws and felt its power coursing through his veins. He knew that he was now strong enough to defeat the soldiers and protect the forest. When the soldiers came back, they were surprised to find Ember waiting for them. Ember breathed a mighty flame, and the soldiers were thrown back in fear. Ember charged at him, his fiery breath scorching the earth beneath him. The soldiers, however, were not afraid of Ember's roar. They think that they could overpower Ember if they worked together. Ember fought bravely, but he quickly realized that he was outnumbered. The soldiers were attacking from all sides, and Ember was struggling to fend them off. Ember breathed fire in all directions, scorching the trees and the ground beneath him. The soldiers realized that they were no match for Ember's new powers. They tried to retreat, but Ember was not about to let them escape. He chased after them, his fiery breath lighting up the forest in a blaze of light. As the soldiers ran for their lives, Ember breathed fire at them, burning their armor and weapons to ashes. The soldiers were terrified, and they knew that they had underestimated Ember's strength. The soldiers were no match for Ember's new powers. He defeated him easily, sending them running back to their kingdom with their tails between their legs. From that day on, Ember was known as the protector of the magical forest. He used his new power to keep the animals safe, and the forest flourished under his care. And every night, when the moon was full, Ember would howl in triumph, his fiery breath illuminating the forest in an ember of light. The animals of the forest knew that they were safe as long as Ember was there to protect them. With the power of the crystal, Ember's abilities were enhanced, and he became the strongest and most feared creature in the forest. His fiery breath could now burn through anything in its path, leaving a trail of destruction wherever he went. Although he was respected by all, Ember quickly realized that his new powers came at a price. The crystal had given Ember immense strength, but it also brought with it a great responsibility. Ember knew that he had to use his powers wisely, or else he risked becoming a threat to the forest he had sworn to protect. He also knew that with great power came great danger, and that he had to be careful not to let his powers consume him. Ember spent his days patrolling the forest, keeping the animals safe from harm. He used his fiery breath to scare away any predators, and he made sure that all the creatures had enough food and water to survive. He also spent time with the other animals, sharing stories and playing games with them. Despite his fearsome reputation, Ember was a kind and gentle soul. He had a soft spot for the young animals in the forest, and he would often spend time teaching them how to hunt and how to defend themselves. As time passed, Ember grew wiser and more powerful. He knew that his powers were a gift, and he was determined to use them for good. He knew that the forest was his home, and he would do everything in his power to protect it. And every night, when the moon was full, Ember would howl in triumph, his fiery breath illuminating the forest in an ember of light. The animals of the forest knew that they were safe as long as Ember was there to protect them, and they slept soundly, knowing that their protector was watching over them.